Okay, here are my 3 flower pieces, and for this one I had glued 2 together because it was a little thinner colored cardstock, and so it would just have a little more stability to it. So I begin by, and I hope this doesn't cause the camera to shake because I have to rub vigorously. I rub from the back side of the die cut, and this is the Romance Flowers from Eileen. So I get the fibers kind of broken up, then I flip it over, and I don't want to rub out to the petals. I just want to rub the center part because I want the petals to keep that kind of raised, you know, scrunchy effect as if it was a real flower. And I'll do the same thing to this one. And just rub. And I always start from the, as a rule, I start from the back side. Some flowers that I do, I think I do start on the fronts, but when I do this particular one with this one, I usually start from the back side because I want that little bit of dimension for the petals. I just think it helps it look a little more real. And then I'll go down a size in the ball because these little ball styluses, I think it's 4 in a set, and each one is a different size because there's like, this is the great big huge one here, and I've used that with some larger die cuts. But I found them on eBay. They were called Kate Stylus Tools or something like that. Anyway, they were to make flowers using fondant type frosting. And then the same thing. This one's a little harder because it's the 2 layers and then with the glue in there, but you just keep working it. And this Sizzix mat is the bomb. If you don't have one, you really should get one or something like it because it's great to work off of, especially when you have to use a lot of pressure. So, move that because I don't want to get glue on it. Then I'm going to start with putting some glue there, and I'm not worried about the hole. I'm going to use it just to kind of match my layers up, you know, line them up, but it's going to be covered. I found some of these. I thought I had some that were a size bigger, but I'll either use one of these or I may look through some more of my stash. I've got little jars up on a shelf that I can't reach till I can move some stuff to get to them. So I don't know what I'll add, but I wanted to add some kind of little bling to the center, just something that was going to give a little kind of a pearly look to my flower. And then just the book, and then when I glue this down, I'm going to make sure that I'm kind of off kilter from the flower that's already there, that's our closure, just so that it has a little more dimension to it. And hopefully I can do this and not mess up those top layers. As long as it's kind of offset, and get it tapped on there. Then just push in the center, and it doesn't take the glue but just a few seconds really to set up. So there will be the little dimensional flower on the cover, and then as the book is like filled up, once photos would be put on the waterfall side, it's going to make it puff up because of the additional layers. I've already added a layer of the pattern paper and cardstock on both sides, so you can imagine it's probably going to double this thickness by the time you would add photos to it. And same way with the little pockets. I'm going to make some little matte style tags to go in those, and that's going to puff that up. And then I've cut, make sure that's not going to fall off there. I've cut 2 little fold over booklets, one to go in each of these little, almost like little file folder pockets. I love the way this turned out, and I was so glad that I just happened to think about that die, and I was like, what if I turn that shape into a pocket? So I'm going to go back, and from some of the different pattern papers that I've cut into out of the stack, I'm going to add either some full layers or do something using them so that all 4 layers of the booklet of each one, because I did 2, I did one for each pocket, and so I'll decorate them and then put them back in the little folder pockets for them. And then that's pretty well going to do the book up. I did find in more of my little stash these little wooden hearts that have that little like burnt looking edge. I had thought about maybe randomly placing a few in different areas, so I'll lay some up there and see how they look. I also found some of these that have the little cutout heart in the center, and I may or may not add some just because I like the kind of natural look element to the book. So once my flower gets dry, I'll figure out what I'm going to do for the center. And then once I get all of it done, I'll come back and do a final flip through.